Podcast. This is Tom Wilson, the new Wild Beaver. I'm, of course, your host, Bill Dean, and I'm here with my three co-hosts, Little Steve, Schwim, and Shorts Guy. We are brought to you by Primetime Radio, courtesy of Sam Wu. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Please leave us a 5-star review if you would be so kind. Boys, what are we drinking?
Shorts Guy, tell the world what both of us are drinking.
I'm hungry. Okay. Of course you're hungry, Sam. You got two cats on the screen. Thank you, Tread. All right, so...
and you were vegan this afternoon.
So for all of us on the podcast, Billy Dean, I still have yours here. I brought up a 4-pack of Mud Hen Brewery's winter Imperial Stout called Yellow Flashing Lights. It's pretty cool. Mud Hen did a lot of historical reference to Wildwood. The brewery itself is named after the train that would come into town in the 1800s. That would tend to be, running through the mud at low tide. But Yellow Flashing Lights is an Imperial Stout named after the winter season down in Wildwood, where all the lights are switched to blinking yellow, and it clocks in at 8%. So
nice.
Let me move that because it's not Guinness, but right here in my Guinness glass from Dublin. So anyway, yeah, it'll get you, Steve. I don't know if you've tried it yet, but it'll definitely get you.
It's really tasty. Yeah, I've been trying it. It's really good for not even really good for Imperial Stout, because I do like Imperial Stouts, but it is smooth and delicious. If you can see me.
Yeah.
I can't see me.
Does it linger on the tongue?
Hello.
Schwim, you have to drink yours at some point.
I'm going to chug mine.
Schwim doesn't do stouts.
I don't do stouts, but I will drink it.
You got to do Power Hour
I know.
stouts.
Oh, my God. Ooh. I won't win. I won't last 4 minutes.
You might have to do a little bit of a stout next week in honor of the holiday.
It's true.
Yeah, this is next Wednesday. Anyway.
We'll have to do that. I'm drinking by Icarus Brewing, which is in Lakewood, New Jersey. It's called Thrash Bash. It's a triple IPA with milk sugar, so Steven can't have it. And I wasn't going to offer it to him anyway.
Hey, oat milk.
Should.
Use oat milk.
There are oats in this, and wheat. But this is, what is this? A little over 10%, 10.3% triple IPA.
Sorry, the mouse.
Pretty tasty. Cool artwork, too, on the can. It's like a metal video from the 80s.
Steve, did you go or?
Yeah, Shorts Guy already.
I spoke for Steve.
They have the same beer.
Ah, that's right. So I am drinking from Shorts Guy a delicious Cape May Brew Apple Bomb fruit beer. It's not bad. It's not very apple forward, but it's pretty good. I'll take it.
I don't know, how Apple doesn't have, in my opinion, a really strong taste where you would really, I guess, but that's very sugary. Yeah. So ciders are very sweet. But the apple itself, I feel like you can get that sort of apple taste in there. I guess it depends on the apple too, but I feel like the apple flavor that we're also used to and anything that we consume that isn't an apple is so artificial that it's just something not apple at all.
What is the difference between apple cider and apple juice?
Cider is isn't cider obviously cinnamon, and you're starting to add different flavors to it? Apple juice is typically just a sugar version.
It can be more simply explained.
Yes, by a certain neighbor.
If it's tangy and yellow, you've got juice there, fella. Wait.
Oh.
I thought it was like tangy and brown.
Of course.
You're in Cider Town. If it's something in yellow, you got juice there, fella. If it's tangy and brown, you're in Cider Town. Now.
Well, that's fantastic.
Good old whatever this is.
We're getting updated.
Adobe.
Remind me later.
Ooh, of course you're going to get updated.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I don't have a cat here, Danielle. I instead have hockey pads because I thought Schwim said wear our stuff, but I guess I misread that.
All I said was jerseys.
Biker.
Obviously, I did this on purpose. I got elbow pads. Hell, I'm even wearing my goddamn pants.
Wow. Look at that.
Wow.
All out.
Oh,
We didn't even put it on.
Shin guard.
Although,
too? No way.
I don't know if you noticed the name, and also the shirt.
And I'm sure shitla. Anyways,
You are.
well, boys, let's get to what's on tap for today's episode. And my headphones aren't exactly on, so I'm hoping I can hear everything you guys say. But let's get on tap for today's for what's on today's episode. Here's our weekly snapshot. March 2nd, 1993. Two fantastic instances occurred. Mario Lemieux made his comeback after 3.5 years away from cancer. He would eventually go on to catch Dale Hawerchuk in the points race. Fantastic year. And also on March 2nd, 1993, Teemu Selanne breaks Mike Bossy's rookie goal record.
2 months. Did you say 2 years?
What did I say?
Did you say 2 years? 93?
No, it wasn't even
2 months. And he caught Pat LaFontaine, didn't he?
No, it was Hawerchuk.
I don't know about that.
I got that from Elliot Freeman, so you can tell Elliot Freeman's
we
wrong.
have a debate going.
Fine, talk to Elliot Freeman, not me. It's not my fault.
Right,
I did not fact check. But anyways, he did. Selanne then breaks Bossy's record. He has that awesome celebration where he shoots, with his glove.
That
Bonus,
was a great celebration.
Do you know who tried to catch his glove in midair but actually missed it and dropped it?
No.
Dropped the glove. He's a head coach in the league right now.
I'm not listening. I'm just.
It's Dallas Eakins, and
I would have never guessed that.
No, nor I.
Apparently, you tried to catch it.
It was LaFontaine, by the way.
All right, fine. Elliot Freeman's wrong.
And Hawerchuk finished 26th in scoring. I don't know where that stat came from.
Great stats. Also this week, March 6th, 2000.
That's crazy.
The Bork trade.
Yes. 24 fewer games.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
160 points in 60 games.
Yeah, Lemieux is ridiculous. Wow. But also March 6, 2000, Ray Bork trade. Obviously wins the Cup in 01. He did not win the Cup in 2000. They actually lost in Game 7 to Dallas. To Dallas. It did not work out well for the Bruins, obviously. They traded Bork and Dave Andrechuk for Brian Ralston, Sammy Paulson, Martin Grenier, and a first-rounder, which turned into Martin Samuelsson. Ralston played for 4 seasons, and then he left for nothing, while the prospects totaled 31 games total for the Bruins. So not a very good Bruins trade.
Nope.
But yeah,
I don't like talking about
trade.
2001.
And
2001 was a bad
guess what
year.
happened? Ray Bork wins the Cup over the New Jersey Devils. F.U. Shorts guy.
Yeah, that was miserable. I was at Game 6 of the finals when the Devils should have won and they blew it, and then they went back to the Mile High City, and then that year, 2001 and 2012 are years that I don't acknowledge that they were Stanley Cup champions. There's just a void. There's no winner.
2008?
Like 19. And like 1918. Just no winner. Sorry.
And 94, there was no winner either.
I think there was a lockout that
yeah, 94.
No, there was a very large winner.
Oh, hello.
Speaking of that, I still have not watched the Cup be raised from 2012. I just have avoided it. Every time the commercial came on, I turned it off. I completely avoided it.
I watch it.
Well, it doesn't exist.
Other news, Calgary coaching change. Daryl Sutter is in again. He has a record of 634, 467, 101, and 83. We'll wait for Steve. It ranks him 17th in NHL history for wins, and he's 12th in Stanley Cup wins with 3.
Double microphone.
Nice. He coached the Flames from 02 to 06, and obviously takes over for Jeff Ward, who was fired after a 7-3 win, and Jeff Ward was 35, 26, and 5 in 66 games over 2 seasons. So, Daryl Sutter's back. Obviously, no nonsense. Maybe it's exactly what Calgary needs right now. They're, they're in for a lot of bullshit and not having a great season. So, maybe this is exactly what they need to get a jump start and get back in the playoffs. They're sitting behind Montreal by a couple points. Nice. I like Kings. Which one's that from? Oh, it is 2012.
Was that from the year they?
Wow.
Was that from the year they beat the Rangers?
It's not the Rangers. No, it's 2012 is the Devils. You jerk.
Not quite.
There was no cup winner that year. I don't acknowledge it. See? I don't acknowledge it, and it hurts your head.
Since my head has expanded
hats
since
the championship hats used to be a lot better. Now they're just so plain and terrible.
Yeah, they stink.
Well, because they got to make it simple for both teams. So they they
just like slap on a patch.
That's pretty much basically it. Which is what they did for the Devils Cup one in '95, but it's still like the cheapness of it almost makes it even that much better because it makes it look like they didn't expect us or want us to win at all. So it's kind of like oh, this is slapped together because no one expected us to win the cup that year. But yeah, they're all bland. They're all gray. Like they're all a neutral color. They're all something that can be used for either team, and it's
they're not
kind of boring
either anymore. Like this
now they went back to the snaps.
Stretch back, and now they're all snaps.
Yeah, because snapback has become like the thing now, where everyone wants snapbacks. So
they used to
it'll all shift.
They used to do the fitted where it was like you could actually get your full size. Now they don't do that anymore. Then they did the stretch, and then obviously for guys with big heads, they didn't really work out so well. So finally they went back to snap, which is smarter. Or at least even if you did the one where it's that the little snap and not the actual snaps, but the one where it's just a little snap in the back and it feeds in the on the side. Those are better too.
Yeah.
But
the one with the strap.
No, I liked all those, but they're changing the times on us. So.
The times they are becoming quite different.
Walter Gretzky, Canada's hockey dad, as well as Mark Pavelich, USA star, passed away this weekend. Walter Gretzky, obviously father of Wayne Gretzky. He got the monikers Canada's hockey dad just for his love of the game and his promotion of hockey in Canada. So obviously he's very missed. Edmonton had a great tribute to him. And then on the other side, Mark Pavelich, which, Steve, I know you had talked to us about this a while ago, but that, he was actually in a home that kind of, I guess, took care of him because he was obviously living with CTE, and it was something that they could kind of watch him and monitor him because he was charged with 4 felony counts for an assault on a neighbor, which actually left him broken bones. But his sisters come out and said that obviously he's had CTE. He's one of the nicest guys, and you just feel so bad for him. Obviously, he's the guy that passed the game-winning goal or the puck to Mike Eruzione for the game-winning goal, and just a really good player for the Rangers too. We actually one of the only New York Rangers to score 5 goals in a game against Hartford back in the early '80s, but. Definitely a great player and someone that'll be missed. So, condolences to both families there.
I heard a sad fact. I heard a sad fact about him today that he had to sell his gold medal. He was in such dire straits that he had to sell something for like $250,000. Like, I just the thought of being that down on your luck to have to sell something that's such a prized possession like a gold medal.
Yeah,
it's sad. It's heartbreaking.
You hope that,
and I know.
I mean, I don't know how the situation played out, but I don't know if he needed help earlier in his life, past his career there, or what. But I mean, it seemed like he was getting some help there at the end. But yeah, it's a sad situation when you see stuff like this. Head injuries.
There was a piece that I
young too.
There was
only,
a piece
63,
60 something, yeah.
63, yeah.
62.
There was a piece that I saw. I skimmed through, but it was it may have been a former Ranger kind of coming down on the league for not helping him more.
Maybe
in his time of need. So I got to look that up. I got to read that. I just haven't had time to read through it all, but yeah, and. Seeing someone like that had such a great moment to just kind of fall apart like that. It's sad when it happens, especially for that moment, because that not only was that sports, but that was such a geopolitical victory too, and such a change in a lot of things.
Can you think of a bigger win I can't think of it
like a bigger American,
I don't
bigger
think so.
moment. No, a bigger sports moment. Can you think of a bigger sport? Anywhere, it could be global.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one.
No, and
Or
and that's the thing
even.
too, because and that's
If
the
you
thing
wanna call it an
because that wasn't even the gold medal game, and a lot of people forget that they won the gold medal the next game.
They still had to win another game. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they still had to win another
too.
game. Yeah, so it's one of those things that's how big that victory was. It wasn't even for the gold medal. It was just to get to the gold medal game.
I don't know if we're going to see that matched at any point ever again. I mean, we see upsets, right? But,
What, you won't see amateurs again, or what?
No, we won't see an event quite like that ever again, where it was so on such a global scale, like you were saying, even beyond just the United States. And the cool, I think one of the coolest things about all of it, not to go off on a tangent about this, but hearing the Russian players' reactions to the United team winning, where they were almost like grateful and appreciative that it happened because they hadn't witnessed like pure joy from winning ever, because it was just so robotic and automatic to them.
Yeah,
that there was nothing to they just won, and that was it. They were just a machine that won hockey games. And nothing meant anything really to them from what they were saying, and them saying that they witnessed that just pure joy was just something to behold. When they think about it in retrospect, which is so cool to hear from the team on the other side, right? But yeah, I honestly don't think we'll ever see something like that ever again.
No. Not in hockey. The geopolitical issues are no longer like they were, and that hopefully there's no geopolitical issues like that again. Let's just start with that one. In hockey, you definitely won't see it. I think the closest you may come is if you get one of those smaller nations to win the World Cup. Something. It would have to be something like that in soccer, where you get a small nation like a couple years ago when Iceland had their big run. Had
even
they gone
African
all the way?
Nation. Have an African nation?
Yeah.
I think it would still be it would be huge for that country, but I still don't think it's going to top.
No, it would.
As far as upsets go,
just like
it
a
depends,
moment
though.
in history, like sports
well,
history.
that there's that. But if we're talking about like an upset of one team upsetting another one, I still don't think it would be like that, because I don't think there's a team in World Cup competition that is just completely guaranteed to win every single game that they play. There could be a major upset. Even if they end up winning the World Cup, there could be upsets that happen. But that team, that Russian team, was just on another level better than everybody else. And for that game to end the way that it did, it really is a miracle. I mean, it's a perfect...
And that's why they call it as such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's going to be no matching that ever.
I said that they lose that game 999 times out of 1,000.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
It's like Avengers Endgame. What is it? They won at
a million and
whatever.
Million. Yeah.
How many different realities did you see?
The only thing that might come close, if there was a Mystery Alaska type thing where it was Bone Storm versus some NHL team who somehow eked out some kind of victory.
And it would, for some reason, nobody would be filming it, and would only be by word of mouth.
The crazy thing is that we don't even really beat anybody in our own division, let alone an NHL team.
When we scrimmage against each other, it's hard for one of us to win.
Yeah, that's also especially me these days.
Yeah. Hey, I got you the win over on Friday.
You did, yeah. That was a nice one. Nice
crushing
victory.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Obviously, the name of our podcast.
Before Billy Dean cries.
Yeah, really. The name of our podcast, Tom Wilson, the new Wild Beaver. If you listen to our last episode, you get that reference. But Wilson was suspended 7 games for the hit on Brandon Carlo. He had an in-person meeting with the NHL player safety. He has been suspended 23 games over 4 separate instances in 543 games and fined 2 times. So a lot of people not close to the Caps feel that if this was any other player, there would not have been a suspension, and this basically wouldn't be talked about. full disclaimer, I think Wilson's a tough player that crosses the line way too much. I think he has bad instances because he actually is a good player when he plays, but he just has moments where he's brain dead.
He goes over the line too many times.
And he deserves to get punished for that. But on this one, I actually agree with everybody else. If you really watch it, while Carlo is engaged with Vrana, he does lower his head just before Wilson hits him. Wilson's point of contact was actually Carlo's armpit shoulder area. If you watch the thing, and he drives through, he doesn't leave his feet. And the actual worst part was Vrana's cross check. I don't know if you guys watched that, but
he gets cross-checked right after.
Down and right afterwards, his head comes down on him.
Right on his head. Carlo's out week to week, and obviously Wilson is, I'm not going to use the word dirty because I think that's a little tough. He's just a tough player that unfortunately makes really dumb decisions, and it gets him in trouble, and for a good reason it should. But yeah, this is one instance where I think reputation kind of helped a little bit in making this more than it was. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree.
You have to. So first of all, I'm going to just flat out say that Tom Wilson is a dirty player. And there's a reason why he's been suspended so many times and for so many games and fined so many times, because he's a dirty player. And he goes with the intention to injure somebody significantly. Every hit that he gives is with the intent to hurt somebody, not to, and when you hit somebody, it's not like, there's ways that you hit, and the overwhelming majority of people who hit in hockey aren't trying to injure somebody every time that they hit them. They're trying to send them, be physical and kind of make a play and take them out of a play and make them, hesitate the next time they're in the boards or whatever because they don't want to get hit, so on. So there's a whole strategy to hitting. And yeah, he's maybe a first-time offender, doesn't get as large of a suspension, but the guy has been suspended how many times now? Like this is getting ridiculous now. And to my argument, when does the team step in and actually do something about this? And Short Scale, we were talking earlier that with Sam about Matt Cook. Matt Cook is a prime example of a player that was dirty. And he was employed by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they got a lot of criticism because, Pittsburgh had a lot to say about, questionable hits against their own players, yet they employed somebody like Matt Cook. Mario Lemieux took it upon himself to do something about Matt Cook. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Matt Cook changed his game almost completely towards the end of his career after discussions with Pittsburgh ownership and management. So when is the Washington organization going to stop celebrating Tom Wilson, which is what they do? They defend him and celebrate everything that he does on the ice and act like it's nothing, right? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, he sent another guy to the hospital. Okay?
Yeah.
So, we're getting to the point where the guy should be friggin' arrested for some of the hits that he has, because it's straight up assault. And there needs to be the 7 games is a shortened season. So if you want to take percentage of the season that he's being suspended for, fine, they got that right to an extent. But at some point, you're going to realize this guy just is not learning anything. Nothing's changing. Maybe
that's not saying you got to drop the hammer on him and see.
Yeah, because
there's
hits. There's hits in between these suspensions that could have been suspensions.
Yeah.
That hit on Mark Jankowski, that very late hit, blindside hit, was easily a 5-minute major for interference and probably should have had some sort of hearing with the league. There wasn't, and then look, fast forward 1 week, 10 days, whatever later, and now he's suspended because he sent Carlo to the hospital.
When does it also fall on the individual himself to be like, wow, I sent another guy to the hospital. Maybe I need to change something in my game. Like that's
obvious,
sending
but
that to me that should be obvious. But obviously he's not getting that. It's when you're sending individuals to the hospital. That's something. If that happens in any of the fighting sports, boxing, UFC, things like that, okay, that's commonplace. You send an opponent to the hospital, that's because, whatever, the fight was real brutal. But this is hockey. You're not supposed to be sending players to the hospital.
No, well, in boxing, whatever, you're trying to knock the other person out. Like, the goal is to knock them unconscious.
Yes. Is to knock them. It's basically doing what Tom Wilson is doing.
Topic, but that's not a goal of anybody in the NHL.
It shouldn't be.
And he's not going to change if the team doesn't tell him he needs to.
Well,
if he's completely celebrated and applauded for what he does, then he's not going to change. He doesn't think he's doing anything wrong.
Where's Captain Alex? Where's Captain Alex in all this?
Well, Alex, Alex was having his own issues with Frederick beforehand, and Tom Wilson was trying to
somebody, didn't he?
Get at him.
Frederick.
Yeah, he was. And so
and Wilson was trying to get at Wilson was trying to get at him, and then they think that maybe he just got a little overzealous, and that's why he went in the corner and destroyed Carlo. But
I'm not giving Wilson the benefit of the doubt on any of his hits. Maybe he was trying to do something.
Especially that hit, I think Cassidy, the Bruins coach, said it was like a predatory hit. He knows Carlo is in a vulnerable position, and he doesn't.
And he launches himself at him.
Goes right at him when he knows this guy's in a bad spot, and I could really. He sees him and he's like, I could destroy this guy, and
he goes hurt this guy badly, and he does it.
You see somebody in a vulnerable position, and you should try to avoid it. And you can hit a guy, but when the guy's has his head down and maybe doesn't really even see you coming, you can't just go in there and absolutely destroy him. Come on.
And I don't like Tom Wilson. He's done a bunch of crap to the Rangers that I don't like either. But on this hit specifically, right? He does aim for his shoulder. He does actually hit his shoulder first. And then it just so happens Carlo's head's actually up, and then he looks down at the puck just as he hits him. So I mean, that's the only thing. It just unfortunate events.
That's not a fault of Carlo, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
Carlo's
it's not.
in a vulnerable position,
and I don't think Carlo didn't put himself in that. And Carlo's just making a hockey play. That he's just making a play on the boards, and Wilson
with a guy.
Wilson is trying to put him through the boards into the friggin' back row, and whatever he hits, he doesn't care what he hits. That's his problem. He's launching. He's a very large person, and he launches himself with such force and aggression, with probably, like you said, maybe no aim at all. And that's also a fault of his own. That he should, something should be done about that. There should be some sort of aim to your hits, not just sending a guy to his destruction every time that you try to hit somebody. And if there's a legitimate chance that you can hit this person in the head, back off a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. The guy's in a vulnerable spot, and he doesn't let up.
Yeah.
Bless you.
No, agreed.
Just needs 6 times.
So I'm watching right now the Vegas Minnesota game, and Minnesota's up 1-0 on a Kevin Fiala goal, and it leads me to my next point on here is Kirill Kaprizov, right? Mm-hmm. So his effect on the Minnesota Wild. I always think of the Wild as a boring team, no stars, but just ho-hum kind of deal.
He's changed that.
They're a fun watch now. Exactly. He leads the Rookie of the Year pack, and it kind of leads to my next question: should he lead the Rookie of the Year pack? He's 23 years old, but he's played in 30+ games a season in the KHL since the 2013-2014 season, which is the second best league in the NHL. So
in the world,
then Panarin probably shouldn't have won the Calder, right?
Well, no,
Panarin
I don't think he should have either.
What's his name? Last Kubalik, right? Shouldn't have
Kubalik?
also
he shouldn't have
won the Calder.
Nope,
but our league is different than the
Kubalik
KHL.
didn't win the Calder. Kubalik didn't win the Calder.
If you can be successful in the NHL, I think
it was Kel McCarr.
You're coming into the league, you're 23 and not 18. I think, it's a totally different league. The NHL could destroy the KHL.
Oh yeah. That would be a great game. That would be a great game.
So
an
you're
NHL
saying
All-Star team versus a KHL All-Star game.
So the real question is, should there be
the NHL
cap, an age cap for the Calder Trophy?
They already have an age cap. It's 26, and actually, it's because and this was going to be a trivia question eventually because I had this patted down. But in 1989, Sergei Makarov was allowed by the Soviet Union to join the NHL and the Calgary Flames. He played in the KHL for 13 years, and he entered at 31 years old. He won the Calder Memorial Trophy as Rookie of the Year at 31. As a result, the rules were changed. Now only players under 26 qualify for the award. It's called the Makarov Rule. He had a 25.9% shooting percentage, which was the highest in the NHL when he won the Calder.
Good for him.
So obviously they have that. Yeah, good for him.
So E-Bug Shorts guy cannot win the Calder.
Yeah, you can.
Sorry, guys.
I am too old.
You can win E-Bug of the Year, though.
I can win E-Bug of the Year. And then get a Disney movie made about myself.
Yes.
So
starring Tom Hanks.
So if so if they change the rules and they lower the so what are you saying? Change the rules and lower the age?
No, I think you leave the age at 26, but you have to put a games limit on professional leagues outside of the NHL. So juniors don't count, college doesn't count, high school, whatever doesn't count. But if you play enough,
what about AHL? That's professional. AHL's professional.
I'm okay with that.
ECHL's professional.
Sure, I'm okay with that. That's fine.
So then there's no incentive for the league to have their players down, learning in the AHL.
Oh, what is the Calder's? Only one guy wins the Calder. So you're saying all the other hundreds of rookies, that's not an incentive to learn their craft in the AHL?
I'm just saying, AHL and the NHL,
if you do like 150 games,
totally different.
Say 100 games in a professional league. If you play more than 100 games, you can't win the Calder.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't like it.
I
don't like it.
That's my
should just be the first season. The age cutoff, maybe drop it down a little bit. I think it can be probably a little lower than 26. I think 23 is a fair age.
Yeah,
23, 24.
Well, he went
23.
Well, so if you did 23, Kaprizov doesn't make it.
Isn't he 23?
He'll be 24 at the end of the year, which would make him.
Yeah, well, he's probably
start the year 23.
The age you start that league in.
I could get on board with that because it's more aimed towards not that anyone over 23 isn't still sort of a kid. I look back at 23 now and think of the stupid crap I did, so I was very much a child.
Yep.
I'm in favor of lowering. I'm in favor of lowering that if that's the case, but as far as first year pros, I mean, Kaprizov is very good.
No, he's nasty.
And he's on. Yeah. You know what though? He's really good. He's on Minnesota, who is not a
offensive team,
skillfully offensive team, and he's like
he makes
their
fun,
offense.
Though.
I think that's he makes them good to watch.
He's good, and people. I was even talking about this the other day too. That most people are almost turned off a little bit by the thought of watching a Minnesota game. And
here he is right now.
Me, for instance, see a 2-1 game.
Minnesota. There's some players that like a Minnesota, but whatever. But then you see this kid on the highlight reels, and everything that he does is even his assists,
his passing
is
awesome.
But so sub question: take Kaprizov out, and then who's the front runner? Because I don't think anybody else is close right now, unless maybe Stützle, but. I mean, you had a lot of guys who had a lot of hype that there was going to be a tight competition.
What's his face is a rookie, the Chicago goalie. I'd give him some credit.
Yeah,
Lankinen.
That's not a bad one.
They're
he's doing
really
well.
surprising.
I mean, he kind of came out of nowhere because Shesterkin obviously not right now. Sorokin no. Stützle,
no. Cousins no. Robertson no. Velarde no.
I'd give Lankinen some credit.
Maybe
what about Ty Smith?
Who's the? No.
I mean,
Ty Smith.
I do too.
Think he'd be up there.
He's got like 11,
Ty Smith would
10
definitely
points.
be up there.
I mean, comparatively, but
he
can be in the discussion.
He's got 11 points on a team that can't score.
The team has a total of 14 points scored.
Yeah,
he has 11 of them. It's pretty good.
And he has 11 of them, yeah. He has 11 of them, and Zacha has 14 in 14 games.
Nice.
So Kaprizov leads with 19 points. Josh Norris is at 15. Stützle 14. Pius Suter, Chicago 13. Velarde 11.
Chicago guy.
Yeah, Suter's been pretty good.
It hasn't been like a rookie.
It's not a very good
season.
Cal Foot plus 7.
Not to say that they're not. Not to say that they're not. They haven't been exciting because Stützle's done a lot of exciting stuff.
I got another one. Jake Ettinger, Dallas goalie. He's done really well for Dallas.
He's done good. Yeah, when he's
right. Yeah. He got smoked in the shootout last night, though.
There's a very unhappy baby upstairs. I wonder who's this.
Oh boy.
All right. So Brent Seabrook
Ty Smith's
retired.
Ty Smith is seventh in the rookie points standings on a team that sucks.
First, second,
as a defenseman. I'm just saying.
I told you. I've talked about Ty Smith for a while. He's a very good young underrated.
Stop yelling at short guy.
defenseman.
And I think that the Devils did right by sending him back to juniors last year because he came out.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. Oh, finally we could see Schwim. Hey, Schwim.
Hi.
So Brent Seabrook retired. he noted that he was basically no cartilage in his right hip. I told my body to screw off for this was his nice. His quote, I told my body to screw off for 15 years. It finally turned around and said, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. He added to his official statement that he was proud to have played his entire 15-year career in Chicago with the Blackhawks. It was an honor to play the game that I love with the teammates I love in front of fans I love in a city that my family and I have grown to love. So Brent Seabrook, obviously, congrats on a great career. We wish him the best. Anyone? Brent Seabrook? Fiala again?
No, it's just
good for him.
No, it's a highlight. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought that was.
Oh,
that was shorthand or something. Yeah, it's a shame, right, with Seabrook, but he had a good career. 3 Stanley Cups. Can't complain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's more than us.
Yeah, exactly.
More than Schwim.
Yeah.
I came
Sean Burke was hired as the goalie coach in Montreal. John Tortorella got the vote of confidence from Jarmo Kekalainen that he will remain as coach.
Now they're talking extension.
Pretty much
people say things.
Yeah, it's pretty much the kiss of death when your GM says that. So we'll see if he stays there. The Leafs sweeping the Oilers to basically destroy everybody in the North.
And then lose to Vancouver.
Right now. And then lose to Vancouver. Yeah. So that's been pretty good.
The Leafs are
an enigma.
They're what's that thing that they usually do? Fake or phony or whatever. Like if you're really like buying the Leafs or
buy or sell
contender. Contender or pretender
pretender. Yeah.
Pretender all the way. They're faking us all out right now.
That North Division.
You wait. Wait till the playoffs. Just wait.
Everyone knows what happens to Toronto in the North. About? So.
See, the bottom of the stick goes along the ice.
Oh man,
we have the sound off. We're just figured.
Exactly. I think he's talking about how they like peel off the bottom of the tape, so at the bottom, so they can just kind of slide it along the ice. Anyways, the Canucks are not expected to fire Travis Green. Obviously, they shouldn't. I mean, he's had a very good career there, and he's an accomplished coach. They should keep him around for a little while. It's expected that the playoff teams for the North Division would relocate to the U.S. for the playoffs. So that would mean Leafs in Buffalo, Winnipeg and Minnesota, etc. So
Leafs in Buffalo. That's like
Leafs in Buffalo.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So it's
I don't know if you guys
it's a team. It's a team that already has trouble in the playoffs, playing in the home of a team that can't make the playoffs. Sorry, JJ, but
sorry,
and
JJ.
then think of all the playoff debacles just in Buffalo sports. Oof. In all the last 30 years, so it's actually fitting. It's actually fitting for Toronto to have to play the playoffs in Buffalo, in the city of just broken dreams.
I don't know if you guys saw Pekka Rinne's paddle save shootout against Pavelski.
That was awesome.
And then Roman Josi comes down and destroys Ettinger in a.
Did you
with
see
a
how hard?
Throws him twice.
Did you see how hard Pekka Rinne was laughing after that stick save? Because that was probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
Exactly, it was great. Well, because I think Pavelski said something to him, and then Pekka Rinne just started laughing. But if you watch the bench,
it was so ridiculous. Because Rinne was just like literally beaten completely, and he just like half-ass goes like this and sticks his stick out, and he just hits it.
And then if you watch Dallas's bench, they all thought he scored, and then you just see Jamie Benz like this, and he just goes, and like he just I couldn't believe that it happened. And then
it's like that's the type of reaction I would do to like stuffing Schwim or something.
Yeah,
just laughing.
No, you have no reaction because you do it all the time. So like you're used to it.
At this point, you're like the 1980 Russian team.
You're like the USSR
there's
team.
There's no joy in it anymore because it just happens all the time.
Oh no, there's joy.
See, it's like JJ dangling. It's like JJ dangling Kevin too. It just happens all the time. You're like, all right, that makes sense.
JJ had an angry dangle.
Yeah, he dangled the entire team.
Yes, he did.
On Friday.
Ooh,
yeah, and he sent me like 18 directions.
And then I don't know if you guys saw the goal from the
Blackhawks
against the Lightning, where they fed it down to Pius Suter, and then Suter went over to Janmark, and he bats it out of the air against Vasilevsky.
That was nice. Yeah.
But literally after that, Tampa scores 6 unanswered goals. And
they're down 3-0, and then scored 6 straight in the like toodles.
And that was
great.
That was as soon as I sent a Schwim check to our group text, all of a sudden it was like goal.
Yep.
It's like, well, there you go. I was expecting like an angry Schwim, maybe like videos of like Schwim losing
I was angry at that point, and then I'm like, you got me. And then they scored a goal. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they scored another one right after. I'm like, oh shit, it's 3-2. So I felt a little bit better at that point. Yes, I was angry when it was 3-0.
Some 3 stars of the week. We have Mark Stone, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points in 4 games as the Knights are on a 6-game win streak. Obviously, they're trying to get to 7 against the Wild right now. He sits 15th in the NHL in points with 27 and is in the top 10 in game-winning goals, plus minus, and assists through 21 games. Thatcher Demko was
I think he's still the most underrated player in the league.
Easily. Yes, he is. Well, Ryan O'Reilly's another one. I don't think Ryan O'Reilly.
No, Ryan O'Reilly's got the recognition.
Yeah, but he's recognized now for being an awesome defensive forward,
especially after winning the cup. After that cup run, because he won Conn Smythe, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right? So after, so he's got the recognition. Mark Stone doesn't yet, and he is still, I think, the most underrated player in the league.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Thatcher Demko, number 2, 3-0-0 with a 1 goal against a .969 save percentage as Vancouver went on a hot streak. And then lastly, Martin Nekas with 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 points. Yep.
My team.
2 goals in 4 games, and the Hurricanes extended a winning streak to 5 games, 1 point behind the Bolts in the Central.
That is just a crapshoot, that division. You have 3 teams that are smoking everybody, and everybody else that's just getting smoked all the time.
But it's the same thing. That's the same thing with the West, though, right? The 3 top teams, and then everybody else is, holding their hands.
Yeah, well, the North too.
Yeah, some injuries. Kirby Dach is participating with the Blackhawks, so we will see if he is able to come back for the end of the season. Some rumors, and then we'll go to our reverse retro segment real quickly. The Leafs are interested in Nick Foligno. They have Kerfoot, Robertson, Liljegren, Sandin, Rasmus Sandin, and early round
random team.
Yep.
The Leafs.
Yeah, and
Blues in the first round again.
Like, what is your identity?
Well, they're looking for sandpaper. Apparently, that's where they want Foligno. They want a, middle 6 forward.
Still gonna lose.
The Sabres are open for. The Sabres are open for business per Elliot Friedman. It's expected that the Bruins.
Thanks, Elliot. We didn't know that.
Worst kept secret.
Yeah, it's expected that the Bruins, Penguins, Toronto, and even Edmonton could all be after Taylor Hall. So I don't know if the Pens are going to go down that road.
Yeah, they need
a top Edmonton's after Taylor Hall?
Edmonton's after Taylor Hall.
They want him back? That's like taking back an old girlfriend that you should never talk to again.
That's the missing piece for Edmonton.
Not
Taylor
the
Hall.
goalie.
Yeah,
the ex-girlfriend still there, though.
No.
Not
that's
the goalie or the defenseman.
That's the missing piece for Edmonton. No, that's the missing piece for Edmonton to get the first overall pick again. That's why they want him. Yeah. They know that Taylor Hall comes with first overall picks.
Could you imagine they get Owen Powers because they tank with Taylor Hall on their team? Oh, man. Also expected to be dealt is Reiner and Eric Stahl, so we'll see what kind of fire sale goes on there. And then I would assume that Eichel is going to be, if not trade deadline, this summer. Oh. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think he's more of an off. I think he's more of an off season.
Yeah,
because somebody's going to have to figure out. There's no way. It doesn't matter about the package. There's no way anybody can fit him under the cap without moving a lot of stuff, and I don't think there's enough time to do that. So I think that's more of an off season.
The Devils can. The Devils can.
There's a couple teams.
That'd be a trade partner.
Ottawa could
trade up to the Devils. Oh my God.
Yeah, PK Subban for Eichel. Just swap those two.
Straight up.
How quickly does he leave Devils? So speaking of PK Subban, the Bruins could add a defenseman such as PK. They're in talks to be in the defensive market. So we'll see what goes on there. So reverse retro uniforms. I gave this question to you guys. Which reverse retro uniforms should be used full time? So their number 1 jersey. And I personally think the Wild should be it. That yellow and green color is awesome. Mm-hmm. They should use that as a full time jersey. Get rid of that old crap they have going for them now, and have that. Schwim, your take?
I had. I wasn't saying as a full-time jersey. I'd want it as a like a third jersey, like a regular go-to third jersey. Calgary's.
I want full-time. I want full-time.
Because it kind of reminds me, their color scheme a little bit reminds me of the old Vancouver because they had that yellow, red, and black. But the black and the yellow and red on the arms and everything looks awesome. I don't think that should be their permanent jersey because there's such a Calgary, the Flame Sea is so iconic for their fans and that franchise and everything. You can't change that. But as a full-time third jersey, the Calgary jersey I think is awesome. And one that I would burn at the stake is the Islanders jersey.
Yeah, well, I mean, they already wear it every day.
The only thing is,
the Islanders have a reverse retro.
Arms.
What about
Detroit? They have a reverse retro?
Oh my God, Detroit's. Yeah, I forgot about that. Their practice jerseys that they wear is Detroit's it's so bad.
Rangers kind of growing on me.
The team's awful, and then you just make them look awful. How are they?
The Rangers,
supposed to be
though,
good?
I still think is like a third jersey-esque. I don't think that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No. Yeah, it's definitely a third jersey. Yeah. Shorts got your Devils jersey.
I love it. I wouldn't want to see it as a permanent, but as a full-time jersey, but a permanent third jersey, absolutely. I mean, getting to see it in person last week.
It'd be weird to be permanent just because the color scheme is so different from their other one. Yeah. So if they were to make that their home jersey, their away jersey would be so different that it just wouldn't make sense.
Well, you know what they could do though? They could go with the white, red, and green as their away jersey if they were going to make it permanent.
They'd have to change that one, I would say. Their away.
Not really. It really wouldn't have to be that much of a change, but as a third jersey, yeah. As a full-time jersey, no. What I do like about the Devils and a lot of the other ones is you can tell it's a reverse retro. You should be able to tell by just turning on the television, oh, that's not their normal color, and they're wearing the reverse retro. All the teams that have white ones, like Steven, the Penguins jersey is great, but when you turn on the game and they're wearing it, you're like, is that their regular or their? You kind of have to look. The Islanders is the worst by far. You have no idea what they're wearing. I say, you know what? Just because of how god-awfully ugly it is, let Arizona wear theirs as a full-time jersey. It's the Southwest. It's an ugly area as far as colors are concerned, but that's just natural out there. Just let them go full out.
The team is garbage. They should wear a garbage jersey. I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love ours to be a regular third jersey, but not a regular, the home or away.
Not true. Yeah.
You know who I'd like to see? Actually, the Montreal jersey, I think, would be an awesome regular jersey.
That would be.
Yes.
So I don't know. Surprisingly, that blue that jersey is so.
That's my favorite jersey,
and it's awesome.
It is clean. It is very clean, and it looks very good.
Jersey, easily. Yeah, I like that more than the red. Way more than the red.
I wouldn't be against the Kings going back to purple.
For the red, though.
I know, but
the Kings of purple would be pretty good.
The Kings going back to purple full time like they used to.
Bone Storm purple.
Ooh,
point. Yeah,
that would be pretty nice.
Here it is again.
Just quickly on statistics before we go to my last little thing, and we'll sign off. Auston Matthews still leads the league in goals with 18 in 23 games. He's still been injured, so they feel it's affecting his shot, and that's why he hasn't been scoring recently. But, I don't think he's going to hit that 50 anymore, but maybe he gets 40, 45, which is still ridiculous. Connor McDavid, second at 15. Tyler Toffoli's still up there with 15. DeBrincat, 14. And Brock Besser, our boy, friend of the podcast, with 13. Points leaders.
Pasternak is climbing the ladder, isn't he?
Pasta is at, let's see here. I just had it and I clicked off it for some dumb reason.
And significantly fewer games.
Yeah, no. Pasta doesn't have. Where did I lose it? He's not even in the top 20. Let's see, where is he? He is 35 with 10 goals.
And significantly fewer games. He's not that
10
far
goals
behind.
In 15 games, yeah.
Pretty good.
Points, obviously, McDavid at 43 leads the pack by 5 over Patrick Kane, followed by Draisaitl, Marner, Scheifele, and Auston Matthews. Points
Do you notice something there? Do you notice where they're playing? And the teams that they're playing against consistently?
Once again,
and my question to you guys should there be an asterisk for the scoring leader? If you get to play Ottawa 9 times in a season, 9 times, and Ottawa has very much, it was Ottawa and who was it, Detroit, are way up there as far as goals against per game. You get to play them 9 times during the course of the season. You get to play, Detroit, Nashville, whoever. I mean, all those. There's not going to be anybody from the East, from the Metro, anywhere in that scoring lead.
The closest guy is Brad Marchand at 11 with 27 points, and then Washington has Backstrom at 27 as well. But yeah, if you look at the top 10, it's either outside of LA, which has Kopitar in the top 10, it is either guys from the Central or the North. So
yep.
Interesting. I don't think you could put an asterisk on it. I mean, you play who you play, right?
They won't. But
the only thing that I could see them saying, yeah, this is because instead of playing Ottawa and then your next game going to be Toronto and then your next game going to be Montreal, they
Vancouver
play
too.
multiple games
Vancouver
in a row.
lets up a ton of goals.
Yeah. What I'm saying is they play multiple games in a row against the same team. So you can, if you have a bad game, one game, you're going to go right back out in 2 games later and devise a whole new strategy to try to score on the same schmucks you just tried to play in the last game. So yeah, I could see how that's
3 times in a row.
That's true. Yeah,
you could do that too.
I mean, what was it?
I think that's a pretty unfair advantage, to be completely honest with you, but I'm not going to complain about it. Whatever, it is what it is, but I just think that there is a pretty obvious reason why some of these guys are so high up in points, because they're playing such weak teams defensively and goaltending.
True.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
definitely.
I
was looking at, there was
9
that
times per season.
Well, they had that. What was it? St. Louis and Arizona had that 7-game series where they played each other 7 straight games, and Arizona finally won Game 7, which was they made fun of it as a joke. That, but yeah, I mean that's kind of what they're dealing with. They're having a lot of issues with
staring at himself.
But all right, my last little segment, then we can get out of here. So we wanted to wait for Short's got to get back to discuss this. I was going to talk about doing a Mount Rushmore, right? So obviously Mount Rushmore, you think about it, it's 4 main faces. If you want to do 5, we can maybe talk about it, but I think we're going to do 4.
Well, 4 is pretty obvious.
So I want to do overall the 4 best players of all time, 4 best players at their position, and then we can save the teams 4 best players per team, and we'll maybe do like we did in the offseason where we do, maybe the North, South, we'll do from there. We'll do it by division.
We're going through every team would be kind of tough.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Everybody take a
just
team.
A little stuff. Yeah.
One team.
So
yep.
That's all 31 teams.
A week.
A week. Okay.
We don't need to do Arizona or Buffalo.
The overall, and you guys tell me if you think this is off. The overall, there's 4 names, and I don't think anyone can jump in those 4 names, right?
Mm-mm.
You got Gretzky, you got Lemieux, you got Howe, and you have Mr. Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr. Yeah, there's no argument.
Top 4, right?
I'd like to make one, but I can't. Sorry.
No, you can't.
Nope.
So positions. We'll do forwards, defensemen, goaltenders. Forwards, obviously we named 3 because they're going to make it. So Bobby Orr's out. You have Gretzky, Howe, and Lemieux. Who is your 4th? So now you got obviously a bunch of names. You can pretty much go any way. Yager, Messier, Crosby, Ovechkin. You can do whoever you want to try. So you're going to Crosby. Pick. Anyone else got anybody else?
Forward.
See, I will go Mark Messier, and for this reason. He has almost 700 goals. He has 4 cups. It's not even with the Rangers only. He's just been that fantastic. Obviously, the longevity, the points, he's up there in pretty much every single category. So that's why I'd say him. I know Crosby, obviously, absolutely fantastic. He deserves to be in any conversation with the best of all time. But I will say, the longevity and the fact that he just was an Iron Man. He barely got injured. Crosby's had obviously some injury history. That's why I'm going to go with Messier. I could say Yager though, and not skip a beat. Anybody else? Forwards?
I'm still going with my argument from last week. I think it was last week when we were talking about does
we
Crosby
talked about
fit
best
into
five.
the top five. So you eliminate the one defenseman in that top four, so he slides right into the top four. So
that's
it.
Anybody else? Forwards? No one? Bueller?
I was thinking Yager, just because
Yager's a good pick too. I think
he's still up there in all the with all the stats. Imagine if he continued friggin' playing.
Yeah,
he would he'd be a no-brainer.
If his ego and personality wasn't his worst enemy.
Yeah, if he didn't go to the KHL and stayed with either the Rangers or went somewhere else, and maybe if he didn't play for the Devils, that would have helped too. But if he did all this awesome things, and he could have been up there in the points.
Maybe if he would have signed with the Lightning.
I told him to, but instead he went to the friggin' Panthers. That year, I realized I was like, "Oh my god, it's possible," because I was hearing rumors and stuff that he's.
So Billy Dean, you're saying,
but he went to friggin' Florida.
Nah, not even gonna bring it up.
What? No, go ahead. I want to hear it.
No.
All right.
All right. Whatever.
All right. So no forwards. Let's go to D-men, right? So I think obviously the top three are pretty much set in stone. You got Bobby Orr. We talked about him. You have Nicholas Lidstrom, and you have Ray Bourque.
He's number 2.
Yep. And some would argue that Lidstrom's actually one, which there's credence to some of it. But
I think Lidstrom is without a doubt the best defenseman still that I've ever seen play. Still, he's one of the best players I've ever seen play. Not even defenseman.
Hands down. No, I agree.
Unbelievable.
People obviously hate Bobby Orr because just he revolutionized the back end. Obviously scoring. Goalies or defensemen to score 100 points in that era was, never happened. So that's why Bobby Orr and the whole spiel. But Ray Bourque I had at 3. You guys tell me if that's not kosher.
Yeah, I have Bourque. I'd probably, if I had to just spontaneously guess for my next, I'd probably pick Chris Pronger.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually have said a former Penguin, Paul Coffey.
Paul Coffey.
I was thinking Coffey.
But if we're gonna go,
I was thinking Coffey.
I'm not discrediting Coffey at all either. But Pronger, Hart Trophy winner. He went to the Stanley Cup, captained, right? Stanley Cup, 3 Stanley Cup teams.
3 teams,
I believe. Yeah.
Wait, no, he wasn't the captain of Anaheim, was he?
I believe he was. Wasn't he the captain of?
No, I thought it was Niedermeyer. It was Niedermeyer.
Niedermeyer was the captain.
We just did where's my book?
Of Anaheim?
My book.
Yeah.
Niedermeyer was the captain there when they won.
Yeah, Niedermeyer was the captain of Anaheim.
Yeah. The best Devils player of all time. Number 4,
not named.
He's the best Devil. He's the best Devil of all time. He's the best Devil of all time. And then that's not even joking. He is. He's the best Devil of all time. Scott Niedermeyer. He was the best player.
I would not put him above Brodeur.
He is.
I would not put him above Brodeur.
I think you guys are wrong.
I would not. I would not put him above.
Hands down best
defenseman.
Niedermeyer. Hands down best player.
He's not better than he's not all time better than Brodeur. Not a chance.
Yes, he is.
For the Devils? No.
Yes.
No.
Listen, Brodeur had the luxury of sitting behind a fantastic defense.
Do you know how hard it is to play in games where you get like 10 shots on goal? It's not as easy as everyone thinks. No, I would never know that. You're right, because we give up like 57 a game.
Times 10.
Yeah, well, yeah. Jeez.
That's what Shorts guy faces.
Listen, I think Scott Niedermeyer
I can't pick a 4th defenseman.
See, Doug Harvey is another one. Obviously, Montreal Canadiens, much older, but he won the Norris Trophy 7 times in 8 seasons. He has the Stanley Cup 6 times. Obviously, the Canadiens teams were ridiculous, so that's a little unfair. But I mean, Doug Harvey would be up there, and I think you could say Niedermeyer's the top 10 defenseman of all time. I like Chelios, but I just think that was more compiler. He played for how long?
I don't know. I guess if I had to pick somebody, I'd probably pick Coffey.
I
can't think. Nobody else. Nobody else is coming.
Chris Pronger was the captain of St. Louis, Anaheim, and Philadelphia.
Yeah, but when they won the cup, I don't think he was the captain. Did they win more than one cup? No. right?
No, they only won with the Jaguar. Yeah, I don't know. Was he the captain?
I don't remember.
No, they lost.
Niedermeyer was
Didn't
captain.
they lose with him?
Maybe I think he went to the Stanley Cup and he was the captain at that point.
He lost.
When they lost to the
He won the Cup
Devils?
in 2007 with, I'll tell you right now. You guys can keep talking.
Well,
yeah,
the dead air.
Going to goalies.
All right. Lastly, goalies, and we'll go top down. I think Hasek.
We already got the three.
You guys would agree. He's 1, right? 2, Patty Waugh. 3, Marty Brodeur, and that's only my. I think he's aided by one of the better defenses in history, but yeah, I'll give Brodeur
Anaheim
top 4.
Ducks, 2007. He won the Stanley Cup in 2007,
and he was the captain.
Yeah.
Really?
Why do I remember
Prager?
I remember Niedermeyer with
Niedermeyer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Niedermeyer was the captain that year.
Yes, there you go.
Exactly. Jesus.
But he was the captain of Anaheim. He was the captain of three different teams.
Okay.
Good for him.
So
Anyway.
the top 3 we got.
Sorry.
Brodeur, Waugh, and Hasek. Hasek being, I think, the best of all time, but that's easily debatable with Patty Waugh. Number 4 is where it gets kind of tricky, right? So you got guys like Terry. You have the old guard with Terry Sawchuk, with Jacques Blanc. You got the new guys, newer guys, and then you got some guys in the middle there: Ken Dryden, Bernie Parent. Who do you guys got? Who would you take at 4?
I'll let you guys go and then I'll go because I got
Chris Osgood. No, I'm just kidding.
Artie Turco.
Mike Smith.
I don't know if I can go like. It's so hard to pick
Henrik?
some of those like
No, I didn't say
old-time
Henrik.
goaltenders.
I thought you just said Henrik. This is tough.
I'm going Ken Dryden.
All right.
Okay, so
Jacques
I can
Blanc.
see that, but
Should I go Terry
So,
Sawchuk then?
I would
Round it out.
well, so I would say that really you would have to have 2 classifications of this because I know we're only supposed to pick 4, potentially 5, because you could easily have a top 4 of Plant, Dryden, Sawchuk, and Tretiak as a top 4 for an older goaltenders.
Glenn Hall.
Yeah.
And then
Glenn Hall.
and then you can absolutely have a. I don't know if I'd put Billy Smith in there, but then you can easely have a top 3
top
of
4, but he's.
You could definitely have a top 3 of like you said, Brodeur, Waugh, and Hasek, because those 3 changed the modern game of goaltending since the 1990s.
So let's do this instead. So we'll eliminate. We have our Mount Rushmore of the old timey goalies, right? And now we have Waugh, Brodeur, and Hasek, who are really kind of in an era of their own. But
Dryden
the last
in that
one?
older
So
class?
we'll pick. The stipulation is the last. The last one has to have played from Hasek, Brodeur, or
Lundqvist. It's
or to
Lundqvist.
current.
It's Lundqvist.
Why?
He just so overall he's played with shitty teams. He's been a fantastic goalie. I mean teams as in collective over the years. The Rangers teams have not been fantastic to him. They continually leave him high and dry. His save percentage is one of the tops in the league all time. The wins, obviously, his career overseas has been fantastic. He's won golds. He has the winning mentality there. He's not won a cup. That's fine, but neither. There's plenty of guys that haven't won cups, so you can't say it's really the cup factor. I just think that he's been the best goalie in the last 10 years, and I think that he's been, one of the better ones in the last 30.
I think you're right. I don't know if I'd choose him, but all 3 of the goalies that he'd be sharing the Mount Rushmore are multi-cup winners.
Well, that's fine, but you're going to say Dan Marino's not a top 4 quarterback of all time? He never won shit.
I don't know. I don't really know football, and I don't really care.
Who's Dan Marino?
The Denver Broncos.
What about Marc-Andre Fleury?
I can't put him there
He's
yet.
up there.
Like if we do this in
I don't
like
think I would either.
10, 15 years or something like that after his career's over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to choose
maybe
from.
you could.
So who in this? We're talking about just this era. We're going to fill that last
There's
spot.
got to be one other goalie that's like comparable.
What about Mike Richter? As much as it pains me to say, Mike Richter.
No. So he does have the winning factor. He's a cup. He has a gold. He has a gold in the he does a gold medal. He's what was the cup? What
World
was the
Cup of
one
Hockey.
Curtis Joseph won a
World
ton of
Cup of
games,
Hockey.
but I don't know if I can put him up there.
If you're putting Joseph up there over Fleury, then you have something
but he's
wrong.
won a lot of games.
No, you have an issue. Yeah, Schwim, you have issues.
Fleury's won more than Cujo.
All right,
He's
so
one of the tops in wins.
What about Grant Fuhr? All those wins with Edmonton.
I was
thinking Grant Fuhr, because Grant Fuhr would be a good one.
Grant Fuhr would be a good one.
All right, so this is just.
Then I think after that, I mean, we're still talking like these are '90s goalies, basically, early 2000s.
So, and this is just for three goalies that we said. Lundqvist, we said Fleury. The other one I'm going to say is Luongo. So Luongo sits at third all-time in wins, 489. Marc-Andre Fleury, 478. Hank, 459. Save percentage, goals against.
Your Stanley Cups? 3.
That's fine. Goals against, Robert Luongo, 2.52. Marc-Andre Fleury, 2.55. Hank, 2.41. Save percentage, Hank, 918. Fleury, 913. Luongo, 919. So Luongo leads in save percentage. But I just think that Hank is well deserving of being at least close to that 4 spot, if not 4.
I mean, I will buy your argument that he's in the argument, but I think you need to. And as a goalie, it's hard because obviously it's a team sport, and you need to be surrounded by teams that have the ability to succeed. And it was no fault of Lundqvist that they didn't win that Stanley Cup that he went to.
No,
what about the same? You could say the same maybe thing for Carey Price. He hasn't won a cup, and he's been I don't think regarded as like the best goalie in the world.
Most overrated.
He's not overrated, but
No,
still, he's still one of the. I think he's still one of the best.
To have Carey Price on your team, please.
He's a victim.
Why would I want Carey Price?
No, I'm saying like anybody, you would want Carey Price on your team.
I'll take him.
Well, right now, yes. You take half of Carey Price on your team right now. Kiprusoff, let's go. I wouldn't put him with.
I'm still not buying that any of these guys are better than.
He's in a tier like right below them.
Besides the fact that he didn't win a Vezina.
I'm going to throw up one that I don't like, Tuukka Rask. I hate him, but he
doesn't play games. He plays half a season every season, and he does very well. But he still plays half a season every season, and any goalie would love to do that. Probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't disagree.
It'd be more beneficial.
I mean, if that the fourth one's tough because there's a lot underneath that top 3. There's a lot of, I don't want to call them middle of the road goalies, but there's that upper echelon of the top 3, and then there's really great guys underneath them, and then you get to that lower echelon of the goaltenders. To that you it could easily be, but no one stands head and shoulders above that pack to join the other, because the top 3 are there because they changed the game. I mean, Hasek's game was wild, and he did everything he needed to stop the puck. I was actually watching a top 10 Hasek save reel the other day, and it's like some of the things he does. That was the fun of playing goalie in the late 90s was you watched him and then you were like, whoa, I'm going to go do that. And, you wound up doing that out on the rink. Brodeur changed the game with his puck handling. I know Hextall was the forerunner of that, but Brodeur really took Barrasso was too, but I think Brodeur was the guy that just brought it into goaltending where you needed to have that. Brodeur showed what it could do, and that became a skill that you needed. And then Watt changed the position with the butterfly. So all 3 of those guys changed the game.
Had you seen prior to Marc-Andre Fleury joining the league, had you seen goalies as athletic as him?
Jonathan Quick.
And Hasek. I think Hasek was pretty athletic.
Was in the league after Marc-Andre Fleury.
Hasek was athletic.
Marc-Andre.
I wouldn't call Hasek athletic.
Really?
I mean, he was a great athlete. Oh, he's a great athlete. I think our image of an athletic goalie in our heads is different because Hasek was an extraordinary shape, but Marc-Andre Fleury is just, I mean, the way that he bends and moves and how fast he is. I don't think I've seen something like that since him. Since him, I've seen plenty, but I don't know that he necessarily like created that type of goaltender or that type of style of goaltender.
Hasek was like when you saw Hasek, you've never seen anything like him before. When he's not.
When you never did again.
That's a different athleticism than like a Fleury or Vasilevsky.
6'1", 155. He was string bean, and he would fill out these pads, and he would be like, "What the hell happened?" I mean,
these goalies now, like Fleury and Vasilevsky, they're like really.
Darren Pupa,
the best. Darren Pupa is the best stand-up goalie ever. Okay, that guy could stand up and stop a shot like nobody's business. All right,
just quickly because. And I said Ken Dryden in the beginning about being number 4. He leads.
This topic has lasted way too long.
Yeah.
Save percentage.
Just make a damn decision and stick by it.
I'm going to go Grant Fuhr. Fuck it. F it.
I'll
Sorry,
say Ken Dryden. Ken Dryden, 80, 32, and 10 in 8 seasons. Obviously a 6-time Cup winner.
I'm going Grant Fuhr.
All right, that's fine.
If we're not doing this era, I'll
because he's kind of a goalie that changed the game also, being
a black goaltender.
A black goaltender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so let's do
Mike Vernon
really good.
Mm-hmm.
Trivia, and we'll get out of here. Can you name the 700 goal members? The guys with 700 goals in a season, or in a season.
I'm not naming 700 members.
Ovechkin.
So Ovechkin 1.
Gretzky
2.
Did Lemieux score 700?
Nope, Lemieux just missed out at 690.
So just scored 700.
Just missed. No, Howchick did not. Just missed. Messier
Gardner,
just missed
right?
694. Oh. Mike Gardner. Yep, Mike Gardner with 708 goals. So just missed the cut. Messier with 694. Yzerman with 692. Lemieux at 690. And Solani at 684.
Wow. Tanner Glass.
Tanner Glass is probably about just missed it. 700 goals short.
Negative 4. He had 4 own goals in his career.
Come on, who's the first person to hit 700 goals? Come on, one of the big players in hockey. Jesus, you guys.
Mike Gardner.
I already said that.
Gordie Howe.
You said Gardner.
Gordie Howe, thank you. Schwim, you love this guy because he's a part of the Tampa Bay squad.
Andrew Chuck?
Nope. He's currently with the team.
Oh, Espo,
Phil Esposito.
Great commentator.
Number 3 on the list is Gretzky. number 4, former LA King. Come on.
Luke? No.
Marcel Dion.
Dion.
Yeah.
Fuck. And then this guy sings a great rendition of Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, Brett Hull.
And then the last one.
Hey.
Longevity reigns, and he is currently still playing.
Yager?
You mean Gloria?
Yager.
Yeah, he did mean Gloria.
Yager.
Yes.
Hey,
I got what he was saying.
Hey.
What did I say? What did I say?
So did I. By the way, Tanner Glass is only 676 goals short of 700. He has 24 in his career.
He makes a comeback right now.
Oh, man. Close. Could be really close. All right, Sam, you can hit it.
Get us out of here.
3754.
Sure, Sky. I gave mine a 4. Do you agree?
I agree. I like it. I got a little bit left. I'll pick up another 4-pack if they have it when I'm back down there.
Yeah. Enjoyed.
375. Why not? Let's go, sure, Rangers. Just remember, everybody, in sports, it's not whether you win or lose. It's how drunk you get.
Drunk you get.